Anyway, we would like to confirm nung ayun, ang alin. The President directed the Executive Secretary Salvador Medellea to tell Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin of the Foreign Affairs to send a notice of termination to the U.S. government last night. And the Executive Secretary sent the message to Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin, and the latter signed the notice of termination and sent to the U.S. government today.
Question? Tina, and then Henry.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, can you please educate us when will the notification process start, yung countdown?
180 days from the receipt of the notice of termination.
Sir, yung notice will be sent directly to Washington or what?
I don't know exactly.
Channels.
Basta U.S. government.
Okay.
Henry.
Secretary, yesterday there was this pronouncement of the President that the President of the United States trying to save yung termination of the VPA. Can you elaborate, expand on that, please?
Perhaps there have been some emissaries sent to the President about the desire of the President of the U.S.
Yung usapan ho, hindi between the President of the United States and President Duterte.
No.
Not on
They
that
haven't
level.
talked. They haven't talked yet.
So when you say emissaries, that includes?
So most likely it's coming from the people from the U.S. Embassy. I'm not sure about that. I'm just taking a cue from the President's remarks.
But sigurado po,
I was calling Ambassador Bays Romualdez. He returned my call, but I wasn't able to get it. I returned his calls, pero mukhang tulog na.
so ang sigurado hindi pa nag-uusap si President
Definitely.
Trump at si President
Hindi
Duterte.
pa nag-usap.
Thank you.
Ina.
Francis.
Sir, just to
Oh.
clarify, yung after 180 days, as far as the palace is concerned, it's terminated? Ganun ba yun? Is that the completion of
No,
the process?
the notice of termination has been sent, and the effectivity of that would be 180 days from the receipt of the U.S. government of such notice.
Sir, I'm not sure, but isn't there a need for the U.S. to also respond and maybe react first?
No,
Or
under
is it like a unilateral decision?
From what
Yun lang.
I read from the agreement, there is no need for that. There's no response needed.
So the president can terminate it unilaterally by himself?
Yes.
Okay.
But the effective date would be 180 days from receipt of the receiver, U.S. government.
Okay. Sir, nagkaroon po ng briefing si U.S. Department of State Assistant Secretary Clark Cooper. He said that there is a scheduled strategic dialogue next month in March. Supposedly, tatalakayin din po dun yung VFA. And a part of his quote from the interview said that there is no decision yet. What do you say to that? About yung termination?
Well, that has been overrun by the fact of sending of the notice of termination.
So will we still be sending a team or people doon sa sinasabing dialogue?
That I don't know. We'll have to ask the Secretary of Foreign Affairs about that.
Thank you, sir.
Francis. Microphone, please.
Sir, good afternoon po. Sir, pahayag lang po sa sinabi ni Senator Rob Recto na paano po paghahandaan ng Pilipinas in case na yung mga ayuda na binibigay ng US...
Paano?
Paano po paghahandaan ng Philippine government yung in case na yung mga ayuda na binibigay sa Philippine military maglaho na yon. Ano magiging second option ng Pilipinas? Kasi katulad niyan, sa April, May, nagkaaroon ho tayo ng mga Amerikano rito, nagkaroon ng training through balikatan. Anong magiging next option ng government po?
Well, from what I gather from the Secretary of National Defense, one country has already offered to enter into another agreement. So, meron din namang mga ibang bansa na nag-offer. But, as the President said, it's about time we rely on our own resources. We have to strengthen our own capability as a country relative to the defense of our land. Yan ang pinakaano ni Presidente. Mahirap yung keep on relying, lalo tayong humihina.
Yung mga previous statements, Sir, ni DND Secretary Lorenzana, in case hindi po Amerika, we will be open more sa training with, tama ho ba, China, possibly, or Russia po ba?
Ang narinig ko, UK. Parang UK ang narinig ko.
Saan po magsasentro yung training, sir? Counter-terrorism?
Hindi ko alam. Basta yun ang narinig ko.
Thank you, sir.
Follow up. Tina.
So with this development, how do you see, or how does the policy the bilateral relationship with the U.S.? How will it
Well, I think it
adversely
remains-
affect it, or what?
It remains warm. Hopefully, it could be warmer.
Why do you say that, sir?
Why? Because I've been noticing that those who've been critical of the U.S. government policies have been given the preferential attention of the U.S. government. Pag nababanata sila, sinusuyo nila. Yung mga kakampi nila, inaapi nila. Parang ganun ang dating eh.
Pero sir, it seems, based on your statements, that the president has already decided this on the issue of the sovereignty of invoking the sovereignty of the Philippines. Ano bang ways na pwedeng hintayin natin or signs from the US para maiba yung environment o yung...
Hindi. Kasi palaging si Presidente sinasabi niya, if we have to deal with other countries, we have to deal on the basis of equality and fairness. Hindi pa pwedeng one-sided ang agreement. Yun ang palaging sinasabi ni Presidente.
Ace.
Clarification na Secretary, kasi yung sinite ninyong reasons for scrapping the VFA, kasama dun yung demand to release Senator De Lima. But the demand came from senators, from lawmakers, separate po, di ba, ang Congress from the executive. And
Even then, still, that's the voice of U.S. government speaking to us through an equal branch of the three branches of government of the U.S.
Kasi hindi ba unusual kung kailan mas friendly yung US President kay Philippine President, ngayon nagdi-decide yung Pangulo na...
The friendship is more on the personal basis, not on the relations between the two countries.
Pero may nagawa ba yung US Executive Branch that offended our President to merit
I
such...
think so. Banning by the immigration authorities, Senator, or rather canceling his U.S. visa of Senator Bato is an executive function, not the Senate of the U.S. Immigration yun. Executive yun.
Although I think in previous interview, parang sinabi ni President Duterte, hindi siya naniniwala na President Trump was behind that. If I remember it right.
He may not be behind it, but it's the executive department. Immigration authorities pa rin.
Okay, Sec.
Mylene.
Sir, paano po yung pag-review ng Senado dito sa VFA? Baliwala na rin po ba yun, sir?
Baliwala.
Ako yung pag-review ng
Hindi naman.
Senado.
Kasi mabuti nga yung nire-review nila para we will know from their point of view, if indeed we have been disadvantaged in entering into this agreement, so that future agreements will be based on fairness, mutual benefits to both agreeing nations.
Arian?
Hi, sir. Sir, yung ibang military agreements po natin with the US, would the palace like a review of that as well? Like the MDT, EDCA? Kasi sabi nyo, sir, to see if disadvantageous to the government.
Oh, that's what the Senate said. They will be reviewing all these agreements.
How about the palace, sir?
Since nire-review na nila, we will just siguro wait
Okay,
and
sir.
listen to them, their recommendation.
Okay, sir. And then, sir, you said na yung UK nag-offer.
Hindi, parang narinig ko kay Secretary Delphine Lorenzana na may mga countries na nag-offer.
Like-
One of them is UK.
How about China and Russia, sir?
He didn't mention that.
Okay, sir. But, sir, at this point, is the government interested into entering into a VFA?
O basta
with other
palaging pabor
countries?
sa atin.
Meron
Basta
na
may
po bang-
mutual benefit to both countries, we are open.
Okay, sir.
But the president, again, I will repeat, he said it's about time we rely on ourselves. We will strengthen our own defenses and not rely on any other country.
Okay, sir. Pero may na-mention na po ba, sir, si President Duterte na countries that he's looking into entering
Wala
an agreement?
siyang binabagay. Siya nga sa kanya parang ayaw niya nga mag-enter, di ba? From the way he talks, parang tayo na lang muna. Huwag na tayong masyadong umasa dyan sa ibang bansa.
Okay, sir.
But of
Thank
course,
you
if the agreement would benefit us, I'm sure we will be open.
po. Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vance, follow up yan. Okay. Microphone, please.
Sir,
Vance.
what happened to EDCA and Mutual Defense Treaty with the revocation of BFA?
Yun nga pag-aaralan ng Senado, di ba? So they will study how the cancellation of VFA will affect the other agreements.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Questions? May follow-up other issue? Jeneline?
Sir, last night the president
Yes.
said na he was unaware if there are nuclear arms brought in by the Americans in the country. Well, will the government now consider conducting an accounting of these arms and check if indeed there are nuclear weapons brought in by the Americans?
I suppose it goes without saying.
So, do we have the capacity to detect these arms inside the country?
I will have to ask the Secretary of National Defense.
Okay, sir.
Ina?
Just a quick follow-up. But what prompted the president to say that yung claims niya, what is the basis?
I don't know. I will ask him.
Thank you.
Okay, MPC questions? Other issue? Tina?
So, sir, yung mention nyo no Friday na possible phone call with the president, between President Trump and President Duterte, matutuloy pa ba?
Yan ang hindi ko alam. Hindi natin alam. If there is initiative on the part of the U.S., baka kausapin ni Presidente. As of this time, hindi ko alam.
Questions, MPC? No more na? Wala na kayong tanong? Other issue? Oh, Vance?
Sir, is there an official memo on the study of travel ban to the U.S. for cabinet secretaries?
What do you mean study? There is a prohibition given to the cabinet members not to travel to the U.S. by the president, and we support that.
So there is no memo, sir. Are you
Wala.
going to have a memo for the cabinet secretaries?
Hindi na, pumayag na nga kami, di ba? Hindi na kailangan yun. Sinabi ni Presidente, okay na yun.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No more questions? Sir, merong tanong si Jocelyn Montemayor. May we ask for comment po on Taiwan's call for the Philippines to lift travel ban on the Taiwanese amid coronavirus?
The travel ban, I understand, that included China was on the basis of the World Health Organization, including Taiwan as part of China. And since there's a ban on China, necessarily Taiwan being part of China is included. And we always follow the recommendation of the World Health Organization. So if the World Health Organization says there is a need for a lifting of the ban in any part of those already announced to have a travel ban, then we will, I suppose, do so.
Call up, Ace?
So for now, the ban stays. The ban.
For now, yes, of course.
So what
Until the World Health Organization makes any announcement and the Department of Health recommends to the President.
So why are we retaining the ban? Because it's a precautionary measure.
Yes, always for the safety of our countrymen.
Okay, no more questions, MPC? Okay. May follow? No more? Ace?
Yung reaction daw po dun sa pag-drop na pag-drop ng sedition charges against sa Vice President Robredo, and parang na-indict din yata sina former Senator Trillanes and 10 others.
Well, as a matter of policy, the President does not interfere in any proceeding involving the departments. If that is the finding of the Department of Justice, as he keeps on saying, let the law take its course.
There are notions na yung pag-clear kay Vice President Robredo daw is a sign na politicking lang daw yung charges. Do you agree with that?
Well, the prosecutors, those investigating prosecutors, know their task to find probable cause. If the evidence presented to them does not show there is, then they have no other alternative but to dismiss the case.
So, no politics involved.
We never engage in politics.
What about your statement to those facing yung charges right now, like si former Senator Trillanes?
Well, they have the opportunity to defend themselves. Again, the President says, let the law take its course. There are remedies available to them. They should avail of them.
Okay, thank you, Sec.
Okay, no more questions. Okay, Vance? Microphone?
Sir, sinabi po ni Vice President Leni Robredo na pang-aabuso daw po itong pag-file ng co-warrant to. So, any reaction on this? And nananatili po ba ang stand ng ating Pangulo regarding yung sinabi niya na talagang babawiin po or etong sa ABS-CBN?
We will repeat our position on the matter. The filing of a petition for co-warranto is on the initiative of the Solicitor General, pursuant to his constitutional duty to file any action in court in the event of any, from his point of view, transgression of any law. That's why he filed the case. The President has nothing to do with it. Whatever utterances the President made in relation to ABS-CBN came from his displeasure of being a victim of fraud relative to his paying for his campaign commercial that never was aired. Now, those utterances fall within the freedom of expression, and we cannot deprive him of that. given that the Constitution grants that to all citizens of the country. We will leave it to the Supreme Court vis-a-vis that petition. And let me say that the grant of a franchise falls exclusively within Congress. And even in because some people are saying, oh, but the president can veto in the event that the renewal is given by the Congress and the president vetoes it. Again, the Constitution says that can be by a 3/4 vote or 2/3.
May follow up? Other issue,
Can
Joyce?
be overruled. In other words, from whatever angle you look at it, it's Congress. It's not the president.
Joyce?
Sir, ang Ibon Foundation nag-file po ng complaint before the Office of the Ombudsman against 3 ranking government officials, including PCO Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy, National Security Advisor Jimenez Esperon, and Southern Luzon Command Chief Major General Antonio Parladi Jr. for red tagging. What is the palace reaction?
Again, we will let the law take its course. The Ombudsman is an independent body, a constitutional body of that, and it will perform its task.
But for the side of palace, do we deny that these individuals are involved in red tagging? Kasama po kasi si National Security Advisor sa respondents.
We will again invoke the constitutional presumption of innocence and the presumption of regularity of performance of duty.
Thank you, Sec.
Okay. No more questions, MPC? Okay, thank you, Secretary Panelo. Thank you, MPC.